I had no idea so many of you would like our house hunting videos and house tours. So I'll do more. I've been doing this for fun, just for myself, like window shopping since the beginning of Zillow and other online internet searches. Rick's driving the car, as you see. We just washed the car. You got to wash your car in Florida. There's sand blowing and it can scratch your car. So we like to take care of our things so they last a long time. Cars are expensive. Just like up north with all the salt, you want to wash your car. Salt will also scratch your car. So back to the house videos. I'll keep doing them if you want me to, and I'll try to hit the different areas. I don't want to cover too much. Like Saint Petersburg is too much. So the last video was South St. Petersburg. Today's video will be just north of downtown and east of Route 275. There's a lot more houses, so feel free to just play around if that's what you like doing. And one of these days, maybe I'll also do a video like this, but for renting, because a lot of you just want to rent that first year or just rent always. So I'll tell you how I do it and what I'm looking for. Maybe it'll help a little bit. It's fun to do it together. So if you have any comments or suggestions, comment below. Let me know what you think. Let's go check out properties that I had found for today. So this particular one is a condo at 1400 Gandy Boulevard North. I will show you again the insides of these properties on Zillow later on, since I can't really walk through all these properties in person. But it's $127,000. 1986, but the HOA is $364 a month. Maybe it's okay for you. Maybe that's, up your alley. Taxes is $1434. There's a clubhouse, pool, park, gated, playground. Boy, I hope I can get into it. Well, let's see. If not, I'll show you online. It was listed originally at $145,000, so they dropped it to $127,000. So that's what I was saying, how I see housing, the prices are coming down. So this looks like a really nice place. It's near the highway. There's a clubhouse, like I said. There's your mail box. It looks clean and neat. Maybe the 348 HOA is not bad if they're taking care of the pool and everything else. But you'll have to check Google reviews. I like to read the negative comments and see what people have to say about things. There's always, lots of positive. Well, sometimes there's a lot of negatives too, but sometimes the negatives, there are things that maybe you just don't care about. They're not important to you, but maybe some negative comments might not be something that you'd go for. It looks quiet. Of course, I always say come at different times of day when you're looking for a house or apartment or condo. Some apartments will not let you have work trucks if there's any signage or trucks on the side of your van or vehicle. That's the building. I'm not sure exactly which one. I'm not going to walk up there and bug anybody about it. It's pretty much all similar. But I was saying about signs, you can see that they must allow it here, but some places don't. And then here, this is like a pod, but it's called Smart Move. I've never heard of this company, but always check the prices, because these things can be expensive, the storage containers, but I wouldn't move any other way cross country. I'd rather pay the extra. It's just very convenient. Nobody's getting into your stuff. So it seems nice enough. So it depends on what your budget is, what you're looking for exactly. There's a lot of different condos, townhomes. There's other areas much more affordable than St. Petersburg. But since, I want to show you a little bit of everything, this is where we are today. Looks like today is garbage day. I know back in Ohio, when we lived in the country, we had to pay to have our garbage picked up. But here in the city, well, at least in Northport, it was included in our taxes. I don't know about this particular area. All right, this one was very cute when I saw it online. 300,000. It was, check this out, 399. Then they dropped it to 364. Now it's 300,000. That's $99,000 off. Tax is not bad, $1,722. For the city, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath. That's 1,960 square feet. Nice large space. So you can see this is a really nice neighborhood. There's a lot of smaller homes. They're actually not so small. They look small from outside, but some of them are like 1,900 square feet. They've got these speed bumps, so you can't speed. You literally have to stop or you'll go flying. I always think that they should put some lights or something. 'Cause at nighttime, if you're coming down here and you don't know the neighborhood, you're gonna go flying. Vinyl fence. You know, with any fence, I know some of you are thinking, they're gonna blow away. Yeah, they're gonna blow away if you got a hurricane. That's what insurance is for. But wood doesn't last very long down here between the sun beating on it and the mold and, you know, wet humidity and the termites. I've seen more tents in this area than I ever saw in Northport. So I don't know if it's just more or if there's more wood houses here definitely than back in Northport, which is where we live, South Sarasota County. Almost all houses were built in block in Northport. And that's gonna be a special treat when I take you there, Northport. They have quarter-acre lots for big houses for less. Of course, prices have gone up quite a bit, but they're gonna come down. I'm not sure what school that is. It's a middle school.
Meadowlawn Middle School.
I see here in the city that each neighborhood has a name. There's different names. I don't know what they all are, but I've noticed that. And they're not actually like communities as far as gated communities. They're just little neighborhoods with different names, but it's all part of Saint Petersburg. Some of you mentioned you have family in Pinellas Park. That's literally right next door. So don't forget to look at Pinellas Park. Some houses are more affordable just because they're, you know, away from the water a little bit. People hear about Clearwater in Tampa, but they don't hear about St. Petersburg or Pinellas Park or other little towns. Like people hear about Sarasota. There's little towns called Osprey, Nokomis. They're so tiny and you would pass them up and never know you were in it. But they're so nice because it's right next to Sarasota, but more affordable. Venice, we like Venice. But Northport and Port Charlotte, I'd have to say, are one of the most affordable and nicest for your money. Of course, you're, you know, not going to be next to the museums and what the city has to offer, but maybe many of you don't care about that, so it would be perfect for you. You prefer a larger house, less money, more land, so maybe you want to move into that direction. Of course, there's towns up north, Newport Richey, Dunedin, Tarpon Springs. That's also a more slower, relaxed type of towns, if that's what you're looking for. So I think we're almost here, just showing you the neighborhood. In this particular area, I think it's pretty safe. It's clean, it's neat, it's near everything you need to be next to. I don't have any idea about the school system because we homeschooled and kids are in college now, so I didn't look at that, but you can just Google anything you want to know. We're going to turn around so you get a better view of the house, but these look brand new. We just passed Winn-Dixie, so this neighborhood is literally right next to groceries. I mean, you could walk there. That's what I love. These look like all new houses. That looks new. So here's the house that's for sale, and that's the sign. You zoom in so you can call if you're interested. But it's really pretty, and there's a garage in the back. It has a fireplace, and you literally, let me show you, you literally, across the street, that's Winn-Dixie. I love that. That's a big selling point. And right in front of you is Martin Luther King, so you can jump on a bus and go straight down to downtown, which is, or you can almost walk to downtown or bike it, depending how good of shape you are in. It's not far at all. The last used one house is 3616 13th Street North. When you're looking for directions, don't forget to put the north or the south, or you'll end up on the wrong side of town. This one is, this one here is a house, and it has an apartment above a garage. So I thought that was interesting. You can rent it out for Airbnb or just a renter to help pay your mortgage. Taxes $2,722. 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, but that includes both units. But I wanted to show you this because it was a different type of home. You can find all types of homes here. In-law suites, apartments above garages, cottages. It's just different. A little bit of anything you could think of, I'm sure you could find it here. So let's go check this one out. And then I'm going to show you a brand new house. And the post office is here. So that house we just saw, you can walk to Winn-Dixie and you can walk to the post office. Again, another nice little neighborhood right off of Martin Luther King. Just saw another house with like 2 units, like a duplex. I've seen quite a bit of duplexes down here. That's really nice. You could rent one side out to pay your mortgage, if you don't mind doing that. That's it. So you got your house there. And let me zoom in so you can see who the realtor is. In-law suite. Free pizza with the purchase of home. That's cute. Garage right next door, and an apartment upstairs. So you could rent that out, or you could have just your guests who want to come down see you. And trust me, you're going to have family who, if you're from up north, they're going to want to come visit you. So you'll have extra space for them. And you'll have privacy. Check this out, $279, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. It is smaller, 1206, but brand new. So some of you would prefer to pay extra an older home for the larger house. But I kind of like the idea of not doing anything. We built our house back in Ohio. The house in Northport, we remodeled it completely. It was a foreclosed house, a bank-owned house. And now we're kind of tired. I'm not saying I wouldn't buy another, another house if I saw a really good deal and fix it up. I would do it again, but it's not the funnest thing for me. Some of you think it's fun, so each to their own. So these houses aren't very far apart from each other. We're just passing Winn-Dixie, and the downtown is straight ahead, not very far. You'll see more and more restaurants and things to do from here on out. $279 is not bad for a brand new house in this particular location, and if it drops any, I'd say it's a pretty good deal. But I'll show you the inside again at the end, and you could decide for yourself what you like. So let me know what kind of houses you are looking for. Comment below, and I will try to steer my searches in a direction that might be more beneficial to you folks. A lot of storage places to put your stuff while you're moving. That's a brand new house right there. I didn't catch it. Oh, 2 houses. I'm telling you, they're building a lot of new houses in old neighborhoods. Revamping. Gotta be here somewhere. I think it's, oh, there it is. I think there's a garage. I'm not sure. It might be in the back. But that's the house. Brand new. All block. And you see those little dots around the window? That's to put your hurricane shutters on. Nice. And it is a little higher up. See how there's a... And you got a sidewalk for those of you who wanted sidewalks. And it steps up, and it steps up a little more. Very nice. And it's on a... like a main street. And see these bicycle lanes? You could ride your bicycles. Crescent Heights neighborhood, that's what this is called. Oh, there's another house for sale right there. That's another beautiful house. It's probably over 300. I was looking at 300 and under. If you could afford more, I'll show you more expensive houses. Let me know. I like looking at houses. This is doesn't cost me anything except for a little gas and Rick's patience with me while recording. But yeah, you got your sidewalks. These are still brick pavers on this street. That's how old it is. But kept up. And so close to downtown. I get so excited the closer we get to downtown. And if you belong to a church, plenty of churches. All denominations. You name it, we've got it. Many of you have said that you prefer other sites like Trulia or Realtor.com. There's other websites to use when searching homes, but I just use Zillow, and it's easier for me just to use the same one. But please feel free to use any one that you prefer. And if you do find a home that you really like, it's kind of nice to look at them on all the sites, because sometimes you find extra information on one site that the other site might not have. So I highly recommend you do that. We're going to go over the houses that we saw today on the inside and see how you like it. Next video, maybe, I'm not sure exactly, but maybe I will try to go over to Tampa just to show you that area. And there's lots of different areas in Tampa. So I'm just going to start picking, small neighborhoods around, Tampa, Clearwater, Dunedin. Maybe I'll hit Tarpon Springs again. I definitely will take you to Northport, because I highly recommend that you folks take a look at that town, especially if you want to stretch out your arms. And most of those houses there are quarter acre, much more affordable than, say, Pinellas County. It all depends on what you're looking for, especially if you got kids and you got dogs and you want the room. You prefer the room over being in the city. There's other people who prefer being in the city, either because of work or just because of the lifestyle, versus living away from the city where you might get a home that's larger with more yard. Some people want yards and some people don't. So it's all what you want. But I wanted to show you how you can draw. Maybe I showed it to you before, but you could actually draw a map of where you want to look. So let's say that instead of typing in Tampa, you just want to draw a line for the area that you want to live in. So you click the little button that says draw. You click where you want to start. You press the button there, and then you drag your mouse around and say you just want to live along the coast like this, all the way up like that. So anywhere along the water, that's where you want to live. And then you click apply, and then the homes in that particular area will pop up. And then of course you look up here. Some of you are asking if there was foreclosed homes that are up for auction. You could click foreclosed, pre-foreclosures. Make Me Move is where they don't have a realtor. Usually they just put a number on their house, and if someone gives them enough, they'll move. Maybe they'll listing it for sale for $300,000 when it's really probably only worth $250,000, but somebody really, really wants that house and will pay the $300,000. So that's a great way to see if someone will pay you something a little extra than you would really think that you would get. And if you don't sell it, you don't sell it, and you don't care too much about that. You could change this to whatever price range you want. You could change it, say, like $200,000. 3 bedrooms. You could click if you want condo, townhome, manufactured homes. Some of you are asking about manufactured homes. So let's go to the first house that I took you to, actually the condo. The 1986. Let's look at some pictures. A lot of people are worried about sound. When you live in Florida, often, almost always, you have your air conditioner running, so you probably don't hear a lot outside. I know I don't. I don't usually hear what's happening outside because our doors are closed. It looks like a nice clean condo, 985 square feet. So if you don't know, square footage, just look at where you live now so you have an idea if something is smaller or bigger. Because if you're not paying attention to square footage, you're not going to really know what that means, 985 square feet. But if you're in an apartment now, or you're living at home at your parents' house, you can go on Zillow, type in your address, and it'll tell you how many square feet you're living in. So you'll have an idea. The only thing is, just don't have a lot of stuff. It's one of the things I tell people when moving to Florida. Just get rid of your stuff, if you don't mind, and if you can do it, because it costs so much money to move your stuff. I know I sound like a broken record, but I just want to highly, highly recommend that you downsize. This one has a pool. I tell you what, if you live in Florida, it is sure nice to have a pool, because it can get hot, hot, hot in the summer, and all you want to do is dip into a nice, cool pool. And what's nice is they often heat up the pools in the winter, depending on where you live. Now, keep in mind, when you're getting a mortgage, they like for you to have 20% down. But often you can get a loan without a down payment, and if so, sometimes you have that PMI, so you're paying an extra $100 some a month on top of what you think it's going to be, plus your taxes, plus your insurance. And usually what banks would like, if, say, for example, you make $70,000 they'll qualify you maybe for $210,000. It all depends on who you're working with. Often realtors will know bankers or brokers that will be a little more flexible. Working on your credit score is really important. If you got a strong credit score, that really helps out. So you can see this is $364 a month. Some will say it's a lot of money, others will say it's well worth it. As I said in the video earlier, when the crash happened down here in Florida, people lost their condos or just stopped paying HOA fees. And when the roof needed to be replaced or there was something else that needed to be repaired on the building, there was not enough money in the till to take care of that. So that's the only concern I have. I'm sure most people don't have problems, but when there's an economic collapse or just a little bit of a deterioration where people are losing jobs, they just can't make ends meet, this is something I slightly worry about. So if you have any experience, good, bad, or ugly, comment below. Let me know what you think about that. And let's just see how much the taxes are. $1,434, and that's not bad at all for here. So let's move on to the next one. This house was looking very pretty on the outside, and the whole neighborhood I think is just really nice. Today I pretty much stuck to north of downtown, which is right here, and I stay to the east of 275. This is along Tampa Bay. I wanted to just do this area. I'll try to hit Pinellas Park. I'll try to hit, over here. I'll do a little bit of everything, and I'll just spread out across Florida as I can. So this looked freshly painted, very nice, clean. I like the vinyl, as I was telling you before. Before we go through this particular house, I wanted to say, if you find a house you really like, make sure that you check. Of course, you're going to have an inspection on the house, but make sure that you check to see if there is any permits on the electric, roof, AC, septic tank, if there was any other work, if it was ever treated for termites. Because, like for example, here in Pinellas County, I noticed there's a lot of wood houses, and I've seen a lot of tented houses. That means that it was being treated for termites. Just another reason I prefer block. I would recommend that if your budget is so tight, really save up before purchasing a house, because you might think you could afford the mortgage, but then the upkeep could be astronomical. If you have a roof leaking, you're in trouble. And if you have a mortgage, they will make you have house insurance. If your roof is over a certain amount of years, I think it's like 22 or 23 years, the house insurance company, like State Farm, like they did to us in Northport, will make you put a new roof on, or they will cancel you. Just like that. If you don't have a mortgage, you do not need insurance. We paid cash for a house, so we didn't have to have insurance. But I was not taking a chance of not having house insurance. After all the money we put into that house, we got the house at a super deal because it was the crash. But, we put a lot of work and money into the house, so I wanted to make sure I had insurance. But they wrote us a letter saying they were going to cancel if we didn't put a new roof on. So we didn't have a choice. So that's what I'm saying. If you're broke, I don't know if buying a house is really the best option for you. So you'll have to figure that out for yourself, because only you know what you can and cannot afford. So this house, 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 1,960 square feet. If I'm just looking for fun, like I said, I've been doing this since I was a little girl with my parents, driving around, and on Sundays after we drive around, we go get some ice cream. And I still do it, and Rick and I enjoy driving around. It's nice that there's a garage here. Like I said, the Florida sun can beat your car down, rip the paint off of it, just like the salt and cold in Ohio and colder states can do. So you see here, it looks really nice. It's absolutely beautiful. Here in Tampa, up in Pensacola, I do see fireplaces because it can get colder. So far, it's been beautiful, super nice. Here's some old wood floors. Sometimes, it's hard to beat the character of these older homes. That's why people like them. So, it looks like they did a really nice job on this house, as you can see. So it all depends on, again, what you want, what you're looking for. I'm just going to zip through the pictures, but we'll scroll down and look at some more descriptions in a second. And this is a perfect location. You're not far from Tampa, and you're not far from downtown St. Pete's, and of all the parks, beaches, everything's, 10, 20 minutes away. Not far at all. It says no flood insurance required. Built 1938. Let's look at taxes. $1,722. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And let's look at the price history. You could see it was listed for $399. Then they dropped it to $379. Then $364. $300. What's next? We'll see. Like I said, I saw prices really skyrocket this past year, but I'd say in the last few weeks, prices have been coming down. So this came down $99,000, and I think it will continue to go down. We'll have to see what the economy's doing. Kind of reminds me a little bit like what was happening before the last crash. I remember there was some wild rides on the stock exchange, just like we've been having recently. I wanted to show you this house today just because it's different. I like to show you houses just sometimes we think in our head a certain house, a certain type of house, but just because you're used to where you grew up and where you've lived, and when you move to a different state or a different country, things are different sometimes. And I just wanted to show you how in St. Petersburg there are so many different types of homes. So this one's being listed for $299. It's a ranch. This is the apartment upstairs. It's nice to have that garage. I don't know if this is the house or the apartment, but I'm not quite sure. So this looks all nice. Let's see here. I don't know if that's downstairs or not. Let's just real quick check out the price history. It was listed in 2015 for $229. It sold for $217 December 2 years ago, and now it's listed for $299. I noticed that some houses, I believe, were bought and then sold within 2 months, just when the prices were going up so fast that they made a quick profit. I don't know if that's what happened here. Now this is the one that's brand new. This one you wouldn't have to do anything to. $279. So it's less money. Of course, it's only 1,206 square feet. So that's give and take. You could either have a new home, but maybe a little smaller, but nothing to do to it, or get an older house and you have to do some work, but it might be a lot larger. Carpeting, as soon as you walk in, not a fan, as you know. There's not a lot of pictures, unfortunately, on this, but I've seen other houses like this and the insides, and they're usually very similar, and they're very nice. And you see these little buttons here? This is to put your shutters. Again, as always, I really appreciate you all watching and sharing and commenting. Let me know what price range you would like for me to look at, what towns you would like for me to look at, and I'll do my best. So this was just listed and the prices stayed the same. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you again. Don't forget to click that notification button if you want to get notified when I put new videos up. Of course, don't forget to live a passionate life.